Hey, and welcome to Comm Talk, the podcast extension of Geek Devotions, the show from Devoted Geeks who are devoted to letting you know that you are loved. I'm Dallas, and hey, today's podcast is going to be a little bit different. It's been a long time since we've actually put one of these out, but we're putting out one of our garden files that have been brought to you by the Haru Protocol. for those of you in the dark, when we first started our podcast, we had a different podcast company that is defunct, and so when that happened, we lost our first 13 episodes. And so a good friend of ours, John Haru, who actually is on his way to Shreveport right now, and we're going to be hanging out with him and going to see some stuff from him this week. He worked some magic and recovered those first 13 episodes for us. And today's episode, I'm really glad to be able to put this out because this is not just a normal episode. This is an episode with Celeste and I, but also my youngest sister, Dana, was with us when we recorded this episode way back in the day. I'm talking about this came out in June of 2017, guys. So this is several years old. But Dana's with us, and Adam West, the Bright Knight, Batman himself, just passed away. And so what this was us saying goodbye to him. We're talking about the movie and talking about Adam West and all that good stuff. So that's what today's episode is. I thought it was appropriate, especially since we have just passed the 83rd anniversary of the very first appearance of Batman this past week. So that's what we got going on. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Lost File 006.
Garden Files lost. Now activating John Haru Protocol. Garden Files found. Initiating Lost Files.
Holy heart failure!
Captain, we have a proximity alert with the planet Geekery. We are approaching collision.
Quicks, get somebody on the comms. Enter in the security code.
257. Security code accepted.
Hello, Devoted Geeks, and welcome to episode 6 of Comm Talk, the podcast extension of Geek Devotions, the YouTube show from a couple of devoted geeks that are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. I am Dallas. On today's episode, well, it's going to be just a little bit different. Celeste and I are currently prepping for youth camp, so we've been very, very, very busy. And because of this, I am recording this intro separately from the actual conversation. And this week's conversation, we're taking some time to honor the man, the legend, the Bright Knight himself, Adam West. As of recording this, we've recently just discovered that Adam passed away, sadly. Apparently he had a short battle with leukemia, and he's gone on. And so because of this, we are going to be taking a look at the 1966 Batman the movie. Before I cut into the conversation with Celeste, myself, and our very special guest, Dana, please allow me to have a moment to express my condolences to the West family. Your father is now and forever will be will have a very special place in my heart, my life. I have a long history with the Batman franchise, and Batman from 1966, Adam West, was probably my first Batman ever. I'm just being real with you guys. I remember being a young kid, and my family had recorded off the TV, because that's what you could do back then with these little magical things called VHS tapes. But they recorded off the TV the movie, Batman the movie. And I must have watched that thing 1,000 times. And I was just in awe over the whole thing. I didn't know that it was campy and that it was meant to be satirical. I just knew that I was in love with this mythos of a man dressed as a bat fighting crime. And so it became part of my life. And of course, later my dad took me down to go see Batman back in 1989, the premiere of the movie, which was probably the first serious take of Batman in film. And so again, it's been an underlying part of my life forever, basically. And Adam West was part of that. He was probably a starting point. So with all that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. But do me a favor, guys. As you listen to this podcast, interact with us. send us your tweets and hit us up on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us on all the platforms. Simply look up Geek Devotions, and we are there. Like I said, just leave some comments. Let us know what you think about this podcast, your memories about Adam West and the Batman franchise, and communicate with us, because we're trying to create a community of devoted geeks. This isn't just about me or Celeste or Dana, but this is about us as a community talking about the things that we love and just having a great, great time. So, all that said, let's get into this conversation. Okay, so I am here with Celeste. Celeste, say hi.
Hello.
And a special guest, my little sister Dana, who's here with us for the month because she's going to youth camp and she's doing kids camp with us. Dana, say hi.
Hello.
Okay, so have either of you seen this movie, Batman?
I don't think so.
This is the Adam West Batman. Have you?
Nope.
No? Okay. So, question, what do you know about the Batman from 1966? We know about this.
He had drawn-on eyebrows.
Yeah, drawn-on eyebrows. Okay. How about you, Dana?
He wasn't as serious. He was hilarious, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty funny. So, all right. So, did you guys like him? What you remember from the series that you saw, or a little bit? Yeah. You enjoyed it? Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Catwoman was fun for me.
Yeah, Catwoman. Actually, there were 3 different Catwomans. Do you remember which one you liked the most?
She was a redhead.
She was a redhead. I can't remember her name now. All I can think about is Earth Kid now. I don't know why. All right.
I don't know.
How about you? What did you like about it?
I just liked it was funny.
Right. It was kind of a more humorous, campy version. And all right, sweet. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna watch the theatrical trailer. Okay. When we finish watching the theatrical trailer, I need you girls to tell me your thoughts on what you are expecting to see happen in the movie, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so let me grab the remote and let's listen. All right. So that was the preview for Batman that came out back in 1966, the movie. All right. The IMDb says, description note says that a dynamic duo faces 4 supervillains who plan to hold the world for ransom with the help of the secret invention that instantly dehydrates people. You can't see this, but Dana just gave me the weirdest look about that statement.
Well, you know.
All right. So obviously this stars Burt Ward as Robin, and most famously Adam West as Batman, who, as of filming this today, Saturday, what's today's date? June 10th.
Yes.
So we're filming this June 10th. We're recording this. It has been announced that he died. Adam West has passed away, unfortunately. So that's kind of the reason why we decided to do this. We kind of had this theme of watching movies Celeste hasn't seen.
Yep.
But since he passed away today, kind of in honor of him, we're watching this, and I want to get you girls' opinion.
Sounds good.
So a couple things. You have Lee Merriweather as Catwoman in this one. She's the one that I knew most of.
So I got to thinking about it, and the one that I liked was actually Batgirl.
Oh.
Like, I was mistaken, because I liked her in her alternate personality, not necessarily as much in the Batgirl thing, so I forgot that she was Batgirl. She was a bat, not a cat.
All right. Also, we have Cesar Romero playing the Joker, who was famously... his Joker had an interesting attribute about him. If you look closely at his top lip, Dana, it looks weird because they painted over his mustache. He refused to shave for the part, so he forced him to paint over his mustache for this.
Well, that's fun.
Right? You have Borges Meredith as a Penguin, Frank Gorshin as the Riddler, and Adam Napler as Alfred. So that's kind of the casting. So after watching the preview, what do y'all think? What are you anticipating for this movie? You gonna like it? Not like it? What do you think?
I think it'll be fun.
Think it'll be fun?
I think I'll like it very much.
You think you'll like it very much? What kind of things are you expecting?
A lot of cheese.
Something very dramatic and punny.
Yes, lots of puns. All right.
So many puns. Like Batapult.
Right.
Batapult onto your screen.
That was a great line from the preview.
Oh, my God.
All right. We're going to watch this, and we'll catch you guys at the end of the movie when we come back.
Great Scots! It's been almost an hour.
What the devil are they doing?
All right, and we are back. We just finished watching Batman, the movie from 1966 with Mr. Adam West. And, so let's break this down. Let's talk about what you ladies enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, and what we found interesting. So we'll start off with what we enjoyed. Dana, what did you enjoy about this movie?
It was hilarious, and I like Robin Sane's, holy hallucination and holy heart failure.
Holy heartbreak.
Holy heartbreak, yeah.
All right. So that was your favorite part. That's what you really enjoyed about it was, okay, cool. All right. So Celeste, how about you? What did you like about the movie?
I want the penguin submarine. I need this to be in my life.
Like an actual full-fledged submarine or like a toy?
No, I want a submarine that looks like a penguin with the feet flapping behind it.
But could you actually go into a submarine?
I could go into a submarine as long as it didn't go underwater. Then I might freak out. But it could be up top, and you know what? It could be like a fish. We could put it in a marina, and somewhere there would be a window where I could watch it going through the water, going wah, 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 wah. Yes, this needs to be a thing.
Okay.
This needs to be a thing.
All right. Well, for me, I really enjoyed the campiness of it, the way that they didn't take themselves too serious.
Oh no!
And which was part of the series, to be honest. It's my understanding that some of this was supposed to be the series itself was supposed to be satirical. You had the whole comic code thing going on where they're way too restrictive on comics.
Yeah.
And so some of us like to poke fun on them. You got all these random after school special messages happening in the middle of the movie.
Right.
So I thought that was fun. I appreciated the satire, but at the same time it was like honest stuff. So
can I point out though that they would not be having that easy of a conversation climbing up a building? They're just talking away, and I understand what they're actually doing. They put the camera on its side and they're just walking.
They are? Surely not, Celeste. They're climbing high heights, one step at a time.
I want to see you do that.
I am not Batman right now.
Right now. I get that they're walking up on the floor. But I feel like they could have at least been a little winded.
Mm-hmm. You got to appreciate though the what's the word? Is it ingenuity of it?
Yeah.
To go, hey, this is an angle. We need to make it look like this, but we don't have the technology or we don't have the budget. So they created something like that.
We couldn't have an actual conversation climbing up a rope.
That's hard to do.
I can't even climb up a rope.
Right? So, you have to appreciate the work that goes into making that stuff happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which actually brings me one of the things that I liked about it and what I found just intriguing. And I guess my next question is, what did you find intriguing about the movie? Stuff you're that was really interesting. For me, it was the way they did the camera angles with the villains. All the scenes that you saw with the villains, the angles were kind of tilted a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed
and
that.
That's a film trick because it throws you off because you're looking at it, you're going, this doesn't look right. This feels awkward. And because it's unsettling. Normally in movies it's just slightly tilted and or better yet, it's slowly tilting in front of you.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, what is happening? It's tripping you out. And so, the way they did that, with every scene of the villains, where it was just them, they're what's the word? They're conceiving their ideas and
conspiring.
Conspiring.
Take over the world.
Take over the world. That kind of thing.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering, brain?
But as they do that, it makes you go, something's weird something's a little off about these crazy people in costumes. So so that's what I found intriguing.
Can I just appreciate the makeup artists though?
Okay.
Because there was only one scene I could tell the man had a mustache.
Yeah.
And I was looking.
So was that what you found intriguing? Was the makeup, or was there something else you found intriguing about the movie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. Like, it was an entertaining movie. There was some stuff about the fact of when it came out that very much dates it, which was interesting to me. Like, the fact that we had to Google who the president was at that time.
Yeah.
Because sadly, we don't know. We're sorry. So that was interesting to me, to be like, okay, well, this is going on. And I feel like that ending part about the living end is a joke we're missing.
Probably. We'll look it up.
Because it's 2017.
Right. If you understand that joke at the end of it, let us know. Send us a tweet or hit us up on Facebook or something. Let us know what you think that meant. So,
because we would like to know.
The dating of it all was quite interesting. Like, in the scene at the end where the scene with the nation's council, whatever, Security Council, you had West Berlin and you had the USSR listed, which obviously here in 2017 are not a deal. I mean, there's a unified Berlin. There's no longer USSR. So it was interesting seeing this, how dated it was, which is one of the reasons why, like, and Dana, you may have seen it in the conversations that, because the other day I was driving around town and Dana was having to answer my Facebook messages for me because I was driving. I didn't want to die. And Celeste and I were part of a group called Geeks and Grace, and we're part of a team. We're trying to plan out some stuff. We're trying to put some Bible studies together, and we're talking about, how do we make this so they're not dated? We want somebody to pick this up in like a year or 2 years and be like, oh yeah, da-da-da, and it won't feel awkward. It's like, we have a friend who, he's a rapper.
Oh, yeah.
And one of his songs, he says MySpace.
Yes.
And later he changed it to Facebook. And
even that's starting to get outdated. Yeah,
but it was awkward the way he quoted it. And so we're talking about, how do we make stuff that isn't dated real quickly? And in this movie, I don't think they cared about it being dated.
I don't think they did. But again, at the time, they weren't thinking longevity. I mean, it's like any other movie from that era. I mean, isn't that the same time frame where Don Knotts was doing all his movies, Ghost of Mr. Chicken, The Reluctant Astronaut? I mean, those movies are very dated, but they're still fun to watch.
Absolutely. Well, Dan, what did you find interesting about it? You were like, when you saw it, you're like, well, okay. You're like, that's strange or something.
I found it interesting that everything was so simple.
What do you mean?
Like, C is for Catwoman, or something was very fishy. So, hey, it's Penguin.
Right.
See, and I would have gone fishy. Oh, cats like to eat fish. But that's me.
So everything is simple, and it just kind of goes. And it's like no actual thought in it. It's like, hey, C is for Catwoman. Hello.
For those of you who have not seen it recently, they figure out the fact that it's Catwoman, Riddler, the Penguin, and the Joker all working together because of a riddle that the Riddler gave out, but they also include the fact of, and it all happened at sea. C stands for Catwoman.
And there was an exploding shark, so hey, Penguin.
Can we just point out the fact that Batman punched the shark in the face? Like, straight up, bam!
It's Batman.
Punched him in the face, and yet the shark still hung on. I think that speaks to the shark. When you can say, Batman punched me in the face, and I still held on, well, then he blew up.
And that's what I figured about the Joker, too. Because the shark was pulling his leg.
Yeah. Those puns, though. That's what made the series so horribly great. Was the puns.
It's like you love to hate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, speaking of hate, okay, so what did we not like about this movie? What would you not like about the movie? Which one of you wants to take it first?
I nominate Dana as tribute.
Wrong movie. All right, Dana. You haven't. What did you not enjoy about the movie?
I don't know. I thought it was very enjoyable.
Right. Okay. Cool. So there wasn't really anything like overall it was just an enjoyable film for you.
Yeah, some of it was I just didn't like what is happening.
Right.
But no, it's just very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I don't think I liked the portrayal of Batman as being such a idiot. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that was the writing, that was how they wanted him to play it, and Adam West did an amazing job. But come on now, you can tell that's Catwoman and your girlfriend. You got this.
I don't understand why either, though. It's just the mask. You can still
he's
the
a
same hairstyle.
detective.
It's the same hairstyle, the same face.
That and Batman's not a scientist, is he?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well that was something I just didn't know then.
Batman can do
Kind
everything.
of a big part of it.
Well, I knew he was a detective. I didn't know he was a scientist.
It was like that comic I made a while back where it was Batman talking with Iron Man, and he was like, Iron Man's like,
stuffing money in their shirts to compete with each other.
No, like Iron Man. It was one that I made several years ago, and Iron Man's like, what would you really be? What would we really be without our money? And Batman's like, well, I'd be a ninja. I would be a detective. I'd be a scientist. List off like a whole bunch of things. And then Iron Man goes, oh yeah, you know what I would be? And Batman cuts in and goes, dead.
Yeah. Yes. So, well,
savage.
I wasn't, oh my God. Wasn't saying anything bad about Batman. I just didn't realize that he did science as well. Mm-hmm. But then again, I don't read the comics.
Right, yeah. That was kind of a big part of the mythos, was that he trained to do everything. And that is one point, like, if you were trying to line up it perfect with the comic books, I feel like you're missing something.
Yeah.
I really don't have a lot of complaints about the movie itself. I really enjoyed it. It's a little long at times. There's some dialogue times where I'm just like, all right, let's move past this point. But overall, I think it's a great movie. I appreciate the pop artiness of it.
Yeah.
Now, Adam West is known as, Batman is often called the Dark Knight. Okay, but Adam West, his Batman was often called the Bright Knight. And I want to know what y'all's thoughts were. Do you kind of see that as him as being the Bright Knight as opposed to
Night?
What?
No, that's
Green Lantern.
Wrong thing.
Wrong thing.
Wrong thing.
I'm going to take your comic book card.
Oh.
I love you. All right, so what are you guys' thoughts on that, about the fact that he was called the Bright Knight?
Well, he was wearing purple.
Right.
And what the heck was with them outlining his nose?
That was just a thing.
What? No.
Yes.
And the eyebrows?
The eyebrows I knew about. I didn't realize the nose.
Well, again, it was one of those things.
What if he sneezed? He'd wipe it away.
Again, they were trying to do something, like, they were trying to base off the comic books at the time. In the comic books, everything was very stylized. Everything was real pop art. And pop art, they stylize and they do everything big and bold and like, all right, this is that. So that, it just kind of played into it.
Okay.
So the Bright Knight. Back to my original question. What is your thoughts on that, about him being the Bright Knight? Do you kind of see that as a thing? Outside of the fact that he wore purple.
Well, it was a very lovely shade of purple. You don't have to say it with such disdain. I don't know.
Well, he was hilarious. Nothing about it was serious.
Right.
And he definitely was not dark.
Mm-hmm.
Although he was kind of creepy at that one point.
He was more a lover boy than anything.
Right. Right.
He definitely played Bruce Wayne very well.
Yes.
The
Playboy.
hello, let's go to dinner.
Right.
Person.
Okay, cool. I think that was from the stuff I've seen, that's actually kind of Adam West's kind of persona as a human being.
So he was Bruce Wayne.
Kind of ish.
So, he just wasn't Batman.
Right.
No, he was.
Yeah, he was Batman. So, for me, as far as the whole Bright Knight thing, because it was so different. I mean, it was almost like Saturday morning, like it was trying to really uplift people.
Yeah.
The modern day Batman stuff, it's like, this dark and gloomy thing, which is legitimately the character and their original character.
I think it's really refreshing. Even now, everyone's so focused on darker things. It's nice to have a show that's just really good to laugh at.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I feel like that's what Adam West was just, hey, we're here to have fun, guys.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. Cool.
He definitely did a good job of portraying Batman. And I think that Batman, even in the comics, probably has some lighter sides and makes jokes, but that's not the main focus. So they just kind of focused on the things that are not the main focus of the comics.
Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. So, all right, cool beans. I liked what you said, though, Dana, about the whole, it's nice to have that contrast because everything's so serious. And I think that's something that we lose as people right now, is we're losing that concept of it's okay to chill and laugh. And it not be like raunchy laughing, you know? There were some adult-ish jokes, the way that things played out, but it wasn't just raunchy, which I appreciated that. And I feel like that's something that's lost in society today, is like we can have fun, we can laugh, and not just be crude and raunchy.
That's what funny cat videos are for.
Yeah. Huh?
That's what funny cat videos are for.
Yeah, funny cat videos. So, it's like the other day, Mom and I were watching, we're trying to find something to watch while, I think you and Romero were in class.
Uh-huh.
And so they're like these comedies online that people would talk about, they're like critically acclaimed, and they were just foul and raunchy. We're like, we had to turn them off. And these are like the ones that people, and so like to look back and go, this was clean, it was fun. If you go in it not expecting something serious, but just something fun, they're enjoyable to watch.
And I think that was a mark of the time. Like, that was something that kind of dates it, but at the same time, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because if you go back and watch movies that came out in that era, they're all kind of like that.
Yeah.
Or stuff like I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
Well, that even predates this, I believe, but maybe not, because didn't Batman come on? No, that was Superman.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Wrong Caped Crusader.
Wrong. Yes. Very wrong, Caped Crusader. All right. Cool beans. Well, any more thoughts or ideas on the movie itself?
Highly enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Okay. Dana?
It was yeah. I liked it.
Good. So I enjoyed it. Now, obviously, part of why we did this is because we just found out today that Adam West has passed away, and that's sad. And let's get real, just ridiculous with this. I say ridiculous. If you could sit down with Adam West, but right before he died, like he was healthy, he was chilling, and you could sit down with Adam West, what's one question you would ask him? Any question whatsoever.
What was it like playing Batman?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that's one of those questions that I think he's been asked a lot.
Yeah.
But every time, I don't think he would ever get tired of answering it.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was a big part of his life that he enjoyed. That's a great question. What about you?
I think for me, it would be what is your favorite scene or show or line or, you know, but that's a general question that I like to ask all actors.
Mm-hmm.
I say ask all actors. Like I talk to actors all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's something I wonder, you know, what is your favorite part that you've played? Well, okay, so in this part, what is your favorite show, favorite episode, favorite scene?
Mm-hmm.
Because acting is fun.
Yeah.
Like,
and why did you decide to go that route with playing Batman? Because I know actors sometimes put a certain personality once they read their characters in, and they play it on that.
Right.
So what made him go that certain route?
Right.
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
So we took your question because we had 3.
Right.
You get no question.
That's okay. Oh, great. I mean, because that's kind of along the same mindset. It's like, you know, what was your motivation behind some of the stuff? And so, yeah, great questions, guys. Great questions. So I think that's about all we're going to do today. But before we sign off, we would like to congratulate our Devoted Geek of the Week, Mr. Branson Boykin. Who is a good friend of mine. And that's not the reason why he's Devoted Geek of the Week. It's not just because he's our good friend, but because he's been supportive of Geek Devotions from the beginning.
And he and his wife are doing a good job of raising a tiny geek.
Yeah, two tiny geeks.
Two tiny geeks.
Well,
little bit is too little to be geeky yet.
He's a geek in training.
I thought that's what...
He's a geek Padawan.
Bigger bit was. Because he's a little bit too. But he's a bigger little bit than their littlest little bit.
He's a little bit bigger than the little bit?
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger than the little bit.
But Branson's been real supportive of us from the get-go. He's actually one of the first people I ever talked to about Geek Devotions when Celeste and I were kind of planning things out and trying to figure out what we're going to do. And so, Branson, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate all your support. I appreciate the really cool picture you gave me. That was I think, what do you call it? The Tims of Batman. It was the Tim Burton's Batman drawn in the stance and the scene from, my brain stopped. Tim, why did my brain?
Drake?
No, it was the animated series. No, I can't remember his name now. I feel like a failure.
Okay, what was his costumed name?
Huh? No, not. It was the guy who came up with the Batman the Animated Series.
Oh.
I can't remember his name now. Oh, junk. I'll figure it out and we'll put it in the show notes. Anyways, Branson gave me a picture drawn like that Branson drew himself. So, Branson, we appreciate you, man. We love you a lot. And we really, really, like I said, we appreciate you being part of our lives. So, all that said, if you'd like to be a Devoted Geek of the Week, all you have to do to qualify is to interact with us and, just be friendly. Talk to us. Talk to us on Instagram. Talk to us on Twitter. Talk to us on Facebook. Talk to us on our YouTube videos that we post up, which Celeste just did one Friday on Wonder Woman, and it was fantastic. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Comm Talk today. If you've loved this episode, head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very appreciated. Until next Sunday, stay devoted.
Peace and love.